speculating.
And it was like
Katie
two
said
female
she got a
voices
ride.
too.
Katie said she got a ride back.
It was two female voices. Not only that, they Tatum kept showing the video of the boys about to get told there's nothing but boys on the boat. Where were those two girls at? Where was those female voices at? We heard the female voices in the background,
but they never got told, did they, Sharon?
There's something going on.
Tatum's not acting in an official capacity, is he?
Give me.
Yes, he is. He acted in an official capacity.
No, hold on. So is he acting as an official cop on this case?
No.
Okay. The reason why
he's putting himself as he is.
Right. So the reason I asked is he's saying he interviewed all these people and he saw no reasonable belief that they did something wrong. But as somebody who's not an official officer, what obligation do they have to tell you the truth at all? Why do they even care about what your opinion is?
Man, he's talking to them little boys like they homeboys already, like he been knowing them for years, like they friends and shit, already acquainted. He ain't no pressure being applied in them bullshit ass interviews. He, from the clips I done seen, I ain't watched the dude or no shit, but I seen clips. He ain't just applying no pressure. He really on some friendly shit and trying to prove their innocence.
That right there was my point. If he already has, because keep in mind, if he was moving as a cop, he couldn't go in with a bias. But because he's going in with a bias, he's not being honest about he's not applying pressure. Anybody who's been in front of cops, we've had pressure put on us. Why is it that in this case, we don't see any pressure? Thank you, Cody.
What photo was this?
It's
Katie. This is at Katie crib. This ain't Photoshop, bro. This is
that should look Photoshop like a mom. She put herself in there.
This is at Katie crib. I can show you.
That's all the black people in the city.
Bro. This is at Katie crib, son. They by Dixie House.
Uda. Katie looked like she chew on straws, bro.
Well, she was chewing on Nolan allegedly. I don't know what happened.
Sure, you ain't no kind of shit.
Uda, can I ask your question? Because I missed something. I do apologize. So what is this photo establishing to you?
No, this is because a bunch of black people have come out on Facebook. So I could skip through and show y'all what's going on. A bunch of black people have come out on Facebook to defend Katie. You know what I'm saying? People are defending her. Look, and Katie has also been to 3 Rivers and 8M party with our family too. And that don't mean she ain't. Look, the people is outside talking for Katie. So this, look, us at Katie's house, straight black kids. She never been that tight. They think that she is. You know what I'm saying?
Katie's the eater.
We got you already know they eating. They know them people eat. But I'm just saying though. But look, right? Look,
I ain't lose the eater.
Look, they said, damn, well, they know damn well that they not talking about that, Katie. The whole family will give you the shirt off their back. You know what I'm saying? This is on Facebook that's happening right now. You know what I'm saying? People are coming out defending her.
Hey, but let me ask you a question, big dog. Was people coming out like accusing Katie of being like having something to do with the actual action or whatever, or were they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't think that though.
Yeah. People are saying that. You know, remember because they said that Katie was the last person to see Nolan. So in his final hour, she was the one that was with him. Even though Katie's maintaining that the boys said that he was going back on the boat with the boys. You know what I'm saying? So she's shocked or surprised that they even left him. You know what I mean? And I think she ended up getting a ride back. I think her brother or her sister or so, I think they facilitated a ride back on one of the boats for her to get back to the dock. You know what I mean? So even in this, Katie ended up speaking on one of these messages as well. She ended up responding to some of this as well. So, you know, she's getting a lot of hate. Like on one of these messages, even in this Facebook post, people are like, you next. You know what I'm saying? They got like 100 marshmallow. They bugging you next. So a lot of people are getting unaliving threats. You know what I'm saying? Not just Katie, Nolan Wells and Wansley family, Warren family, even his mom and stepmom, Ashley Cole, who's a judge. She was saying that even her little children, the small children, besides the son, the small children is having unaliving threats as well. You know what I'm saying? So many people are getting threats on all sides, even people that's content creating. Even the woman that just came to do remember, there's a woman that enhanced the audio. She's an audio engineer. She's a professional audio engineer. She was just doxxed. bro. They just doxed her and brought up her criminal past, bro. She got the orange jumpsuit on and all that. You know what I'm saying? So
Damn.
she came out to speak. I'm gonna show you that. I'm gonna bring it up and I'm gonna show y'all I'm gonna show y'all. You know what I mean? But I just show y'all Katie message. Where Katie message at real quick before we go? Look, this is Katie right here. Katie said, "What's understood?" Because they said, and another thing, I'm standing behind Katie McCormick, and I understand that y'all don't know her, but me and 1,000 other of us being melanated beings, look, have literally slept, ate, and partied at the McCormick house. And don't forget, that's Dixie Child. You know what I'm saying? So this person went hard, Mary Paul.
So let me shout out to PZ ain't going. PZ ain't going. That's a question, not speculation, bro. Who are the female voices?
No, I agree with you there, man, because I know I heard one say, "Is he dead?" I heard a voice that said that. That's
I heard the same thing.
I heard that, bro.
Wow.
But shit, they trying to say they added the voices in on that shit and shit, though. I'm like, man, these people so dangerous, man.
Check on that boat, bro. There was a check on that boat, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was Katie or not, but you know, it most definitely was a chick on that boat. In my own opinion, allegedly, you say, but in my own opinion, I think that it was a girl on that boat. And they saying that we might have confirmation.
That's another great point. This is another great point, Uda. PZ ain't going. And we heard the voices, but not one female witness has come out and said anything. That is an excellent point.
Yeah, her parents told her to lawyer up.
Peasy, they were fluent.
Obvious.
Peasy. They coming from doctors and judges and
fluent. And with Peasy ain't going, Peasy's keeping his channel going today, and we need $15 more to reach the goal. Shout out to Peasy ain't going.
Yeah, I think they all done said something. They just all saying that they didn't see him and they don't know he didn't get on the boat. That's all of them story they trying to stick to, right? I don't understand how you drown on an island with 1,000 or more people on it and nobody saw you drown.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Somebody now all of a sudden TMZ coming out to say that they got 2 witnesses that seen Nolan on the island after the boat left, which is mad weird to me. Where they popped up from. Now I'm saying we dealing with people that got money though, affluent people. They come from your pops is big surgeon, doctor, your mom's is judge. Like a lot of these kids, doctor, judge type vibe. You know what I'm saying? A couple of them at least. So I think, and then a lot of people saying, speculating that, you know, as far as Bart goes, you know, Bart is supposed to be going to the NFL. He comes from a long legacy of football players and a bunch of other stuff like that. Because you see, you know, one day that people were saying that Bart was involved and he was with Katie, which Bart came out to say, his lawyer actually came out to say, Mr. Latino came out to say Bart never knew her. That's the wrong girl. That didn't even Katie in the picture. The one day they made the video, bro, the next day Bart said he's suing content creators and it's not about money, period. So it goes to show you how people is playing on that side of the fence, even though he's saying that he's getting some unaliving threats based upon that video or all the videos that people have been doing on Bart. But look how Bart's playing. Bart's not even joking. You know what I'm saying? Bart came out one time and lawyered up one day. You know what I'm saying? In one day. He didn't wait 2 days. So
one day.
It goes to show you what's going on. And that's why even like Officer Tatum, I think that he's doing things because I think he wants validation from white people. That's just my own thought about it.
Yeah, he's running interference. He's running interference, man. Eating dang-a-lang, eating the world longest glizzy.
Yeah, he glizzied out. You know what I'm saying? So I think he is too. Because I don't understand why he would be saying some of the things. And it seems like even on Nancy Grace's yesterday, he was saying like, you know, I'm an officer, so I want to get the bad guys. But it seems like if there was a bad guy, the bad guy would be in the bunch that you just was interviewing. And it seems like he's already crossed over the line to be on their side already, which he's want to be validation by white people because his content alone, he's always kicking in the backs of black people. So it just goes to show you that that's already there. But yeah, it just seems like maybe he could have been paid off too, man. Because look, man, people got money, bro. Listen, man, we pay you something right now. Allegedly, I'll say allegedly. But you never know.
Let me also shout out to Titan Wise getting us over the hump. Salute to shout out to Titan Wise with the 15 ball to make sure we reach our goal and then we can extend the show further out. Thank you so much. Shout out to Titan Wise. Salute to you.
I personally don't understand the vitriol that Officer Tatum gets. Yes, I don't agree with a lot of things that he say. I really don't. But the comments that I'm hearing about him, that he's he doesn't like black people, he's sucking the blank of the other folks he's doing. That's just so crazy to me. Just again, I stand on this. No one can have an opposing thought of the same race. That is crazy to me. This man is getting eviscerated because of his opinion, and he does have experience as a police officer. He might be wrong based on what y'all just said, just based on the evidence alone. Take the emotion out, the phone call, the female voice saying, is he dead? I get all that. It doesn't look good for him. I get it. But to tie all that in and to make Officer Tatum out to be a damn coon and all this stuff that I'm hearing, that to me, that's just crazy and totally unfair. Yes, he made some outrageous statements. The boiling water incident was justified. He's a fool for saying that. Granted. But all the other things, a lot of things that he says, he's not, I mean, he's bringing up valid points. He has to ask the question. You don't have to agree with the questions he's asking, but damn, that doesn't make him a coon. That's all I'm saying.
When you always take the other side, ain't never got nothing
I had to do an autopsy
positive to say about your own people. You dick eating. I don't give a damn what you say, Otis. Shit, this motherfucker ain't never seen nothing positive that black people can do or have done or doing at the moment. He is always the negative. Man, you dick eating.
That's period. That's period, bro. I see it just like you, Cody. So that's a fact, bro.
I got you. Hey, I got you. Hey,
that's a fact, man. You know what I mean? You never want to see nobody in a light. You never want to paint us in a good light.
Shout out to Dahlia Senegal with the NOK 100, which is, I believe, is $10. I'm not sure what is the NOK. I don't know what currency that is. Salute to you. Thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. We really appreciate it. I believe that. Whose side is that? Otis or Udas? Salute to y'all. Support your favorite streamer.
Salute, man. Yeah, man. Look, even this is the doxing of the audio engineer. Look, she came out and got doxed over me. They put her mug shizzies up, bro.
And they've been trying to say that she like added voices in the editing or whatever. So you know they trying to shit on her name out the gate and don't know her. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I can read to what she said, though. This is her response to it, though. She said, "This will be the only time that I address this. I've never hidden my past, and I've never denied it. The misdemeanor charges on my record are more than 20 years old, and the people who truly know me have known about them for years. Those records do not define who I am today, the work that I've built, or the person that I've become. They also do not prove that I committed any crime. Plenty of people like me are incarcerated right now for crimes that they did not commit. Attempting to discredit someone by digging up decades-old records instead of addressing the substance of their work is a tactic that I've expected from the very beginning. It doesn't change why I'm here. I also want to be very clear. I don't want anyone attacking, harassing, or engaging in personal battles with anyone on my behalf. That only creates more division, and that's not my focus. My focus has always been one thing: justice for Nolan Wells. The questions surrounding this case deserves answers, and they deserve a thorough, transparent investigation. That has not changed. To everyone who has supported me, thank you. Your encouragement, thoughtful discussions, and commitment to seeking the truth means more than you know. Please continue to stay respectful, stay focused, and don't get distracted by the noise, and the conversation should remain where it belongs. What happened to Nolan Wells? His family deserves answers, and that is where my attention will remain. Reading Rainbow, I can.
I see you, Oda. They said shooters couldn't read.
they bug him. Boy. I told myself to read.
I'm telling you.
I ain't never been on phonics. The purple book and the brown one.
Yeah, but you know they like did the same thing to Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? They did the same thing. They do the same thing once the law shoot a brother in the back or in the neck on side the road, they say what he did in the past and not what he was doing right now today, right? See, they because he wasn't breaking no law, they just killed him. But they'll say, oh, the boy had a warrant from 4 years ago that they ain't know he had the warrant till after he was dead, though.
Nasty work, Cody. Most definitely nasty work. You know what I mean? I just think that it's more, even like the throat being missing, that's a whole nother thing, like you were saying about Cody. They saying like, you know, besides decomposition, like when the body starts to decompose, you know, they can't really prove whether, I don't know if they could prove it or not. It's going to take further analysis for them to understand if he was, you know what I mean? Or anything like that. We do know there's a discoloration beside on the back of his head. There's a discoloration that's there. Some people saying, oh, that's just how the body was, but the body was floating upwards. You know what I'm saying? That shit was like that. You know what I mean? So there's some speculations there. We understand that they said that they're not going to even release the throat and all of that other stuff until they give it to a grand jury. So that means that they already decided that already. The county, Jackson County, whatever the county is, they decided that as well. They were saying like you can't tell. Depends, especially with the decomposition that was happening. It's going to need further analysis to know whether, because when you drowning,
let me ask you a question real quick.
Water in, look, when you drowning, coach, and you take water in, your throat spasms. Pause, but you start to spat. Those things as well leave a trace, like you was being. You know what I'm saying? It kind of leave like a similar trace, even when you spasm it and taking in water. You know what I mean? So they trying to determine what the hell is that about, but they're not even going to release any part of that until the grand jury actually get that in the standard in cases that are not like car wrecks or stuff like that. You know
that's what I was going to ask you.
Before you go, Cody, Wanda, you are not my favorite, but you are. LOL. Shout out to you, Sharon. Thank you so much, Wanda. I'm working on that. I'm gonna work on that #1 spot. Shout out to PZ Ain't Going. Right after Cody say what he gotta say, he got a question for you, Otis. Otis, how do you define a raccoon?
Well,
Otis, how you define a coon?
Man, I'm a mature 55-year-old man. I'm not going to even dignify that with an answer. Stop it. Move on.
Why not?
Respectfully.
That's what you did the hell. How do you define a coon, homie? Like what happened?
He said they don't exist.
I'll say this. I don't believe Tatum is a coon. I'll say that. Now you make that up. You can take that as how you want to take it.
Okay. I don't know. I think he just I don't
right,
know.
But that's why they want you to define it.
I'm good.
Do you believe that is such thing as a coon?
Of course, most definitely. But I don't believe he fits that description or that definition.
All right, then. But so, can you give us if you don't want to define it, can you give us an example of one?
That's a better question. Do I know a coon? Do I know of a coon? Not offhand. I haven't smoked my marijuana yet. I can't think of one. And
you don't know one coon?
I'm not trying to be funny. Not really. I mean, okay, Nate.
You don't live near a park?
Let me ask you, who? I ain't hear you.
You don't know one raccoon?
Okay, well, we'll say this. Okay, let me ask you a question. But I'm not trying to be funny. Name a coon that you think of is a coon, and then I let you know if I agree with you or not. And that goes for anybody on the panel. You tell me a coon, and I'll let you know if he a coon or not. In my opinion, he or her. Go. Anybody.
Besides Officer Tatum.
Besides Officer Tatum. Right. Great point.
Besides him, that's a coon that's right here in my pocket. Right here. Popping out.
Jagging about.
Another one besides him and me. Because I know some people probably think I'm a coon. So take him and me off the table.
I wouldn't call you a coon. I wouldn't call you that. I wouldn't call you that.
I
think it's traits and behaviors that people display. I don't know. Because you're trying to defend a point or you're trying to see something objectively or however you're seeing it, I don't think that makes
a sovereign citizen can't be a coon.
I don't think that makes you a coon, Otis. I don't think so. But I'm just saying.
But again, no one's answering my question. That y'all asking me a question, but nobody's answering my question because I was being honest. I don't know of one off the top of my head. I'm being honest. I don't. But you name another one besides Tate. Name another one besides Tate, and I'll let you know if I agree with you or not.
Okay.
Go.
Hold on. I just had one in my mind too.
Okay, the same.
Hold on. And we on YouTube. It's too many coons on YouTube. The chat about to fill it up. I ain't got to think about real out in earth. On YouTube.
Come on, labor.
People be the angry man. The hell? I can keep going. That man got butter biscuits. What happened? Them biscuits is butter. Let's get to that. What happened? Pop out too, angry man. Quiet man. Pop out. Pop out.
Cooter.
You from Brooklyn by way of Alabama. Fall back, sir.
I disagree with you.
Fall back, sir. Fall back. How about that? I'll give you one buttered biscuit right there. What happened?
Hey, PZ ain't going. PZ going to say Jesse Lee Peterson. What
Jesse
about him,
Lee.
Otis?
Who is that? I'm sorry. I'm slow.
PZ, you ain't going.
Otis.
Who's
Come
that?
on, Otis.
I'm for real. Refresh my memory. I'm being honest. Who is that? I don't know everything.
Teen Cancer with 100 jewels.
Man, Otis full of shit.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Otis full of shit. But I ain't, hey, but Otis, you cool with me. I ain't never thought I'd see the day, Otis. I ain't never thought I'd see the day, Otis. Give on up.
Why? Because I don't know who Jesse Peterson is. I'm about to look him up now because I don't know. I'm serious.
They done got Otis. They done got Otis, y'all. They done got Otis.
Hold on, Jesse Lee Peterson.
Chaotic Truth is another one.
Oh, him. Oh my God. I gotta look at this picture.
They done got Otis, y'all. I think he trying to sign the coon contract.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I ain't, hey, Cody, I ain't worried about you, bro. You cool. Keep it off you, man. But listen, this Peterson guy, to me, I put him on the same scale as your damn Tatum. Do I agree with everything he says? Hell no. I've seen a lot of his interviews. He interviewed people and all that. He tried to catch them on certain spots and with wordplay and all that. I give him that. I don't agree with a lot of things he says. I don't, but I wouldn't necessarily call him a coon because I do agree with some of the things he says. Like I agree with some of the things that Officer Tatum says. Like I agree with some of the things Sharon say. Not saying I'm calling Sharon a coon, but my point is you could have discernment or you could have disagreements with people and still quote unquote rock with them and not call them crazy names like a coon or a sellout or they're pandering, all that type of stuff. To me, I could look past all that.
You
saying that stuff, those things don't exist, right?
Hold on, Cody. Hold on, Cody. Hey, Uda. So you said Angry Man. We said Jesse Lee Peterson. We also said Officer Tam. You got to give them one more because this is crazy. Who else you got?
Hold on, let's figure out if
slap the taste out of your mouth. I'd like to see it.
That's messed up. Damn, Uda.
Y'all slapped on Uda, man.
You need to shut your damn mouth sometime. God damn it. Shut this goddamn mouth. Corey Loveburner says, drop Uda for 5 seconds for the angry man slander. LOL. What happened, Uda?
That's funny. I love this, man. I love it. That's funny. That's crazy.
He said only 5 seconds, Uda, so you good.
Oh, man, yo, that was funny as hell, Corey. I ain't gonna hold you. That was funny, Corey. I'm a chill, Corey. I'm a chill.
Shout out
I will find another clue to bring up.
I see you, OG.
Chaotic Truth.
See you. Chaotic Truth.
We on Chaotic Truth. I'm gonna leave him be.
No, see, I wouldn't call I wouldn't call Chaotic Truth a coon. I would call Chaotic Truth the #1 professional troller. He's good at what he does. He can keep a straight face and he says the most outlandish things. And I don't believe he believes half that shit. He don't believe that, but he says it with a straight face to invoke conversation. That's it. I wouldn't call him a coon. So that's what I'm saying. People just throw words around.
Yeah, they got him. They got him. He might have already put the app in.
Look at that white would say, you look so beautiful.
He might have already put the app in, man. I don't know. Check his phone. Check his phone.
Get off your boy. Come on, man. I just keep it real, man. I'm just keeping it real. I ain't even mad at your assessment, though. I love these conversations. I'm just keeping it real. Y'all don't understand calling folks coons. That shit lands, man. And to me, that's just a powerful. You got to be careful with these words y'all throwing around.
Yeah, I got you.
You know, it might be justified, but again,
I got you on that.
I got you.
I got you, Corey Love. Thank you so much. Yeah. Shout out to Corey Love. Salute to him. Everybody go watch Corey Love. He's great. He's the messy pastor now, but Corey Love is all good. Otis, so now you definitely got to define what coon is.
Yeah, bro.
Because we thought a bunch of different names, and you
I don't think he thinks they exist, Big Dog. I don't think he think it's a thing.
I believe it's a thing, but the truth, I can't call him a coon. I can't call Angry Man a coon. I can't. I can't call the Peterson guy a coon. I can't. I cannot. Sorry. I can't. Are they gaslighters a lot? Are they, well, I wouldn't say they, I would definitely call CT a troll. But yeah, I can honestly say, and I'll take all the blame and I'll take all the criticism. They say some things, and I'm not going to put it on a percentage basis, but they say some things that I can definitely concur with.
We know who's not. Who is one? Or define it for us so we can understand that, your point of view.
What do you mean? You say what?
He said he can't think of one.
Like either say somebody that's an example or define it. Oh, Cellulite Podcast. Is he one?
What, a coon? Oh my God.
You say they all died in the 80s, Big Dog.
Who said that?
Otis.
No, I don't believe Cellulite is a coon. I believe he's an asshole, but I don't think he's a coon. He's definitely an asshole. Based on what he tried to do to me on your show, trying to dox me. But he's definitely an ass.
So what is in your eyes you could define as a coon then?
Great question. I can't. But the names you named, they're not coons to me. Sorry. And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah. What I was going by is just the needle of how people just you just make content centered to certain ways, always kicking in the backs of Black people. You never want to highlight them in any good or positive way, even though we understand that we have some negativities, we have some degeneracies that we have, but also that doesn't speak to the whole. There's many people that are not. There's many people that are good examples of Black people, but people never speak to those points. They only want to go to the less of us and put that as the whole and make it the more of us when it's not. You know what I'm saying? So when I think about things like that, I think like those things, you know what I'm saying? Besides the person just being against the person that's Black and ain't Black, you know what I'm saying? That's just crazy. But so people never highlight nothing positive within us when we got so many positive things that could represent us. You know what I mean? I think we all need to look towards those positive things and, you know what I mean, let it inspire us as well to be better, you know what I mean? So.
I don't know, man. I don't know, because based on what you just said, and let me interpret it and let me break it down in my mind. When a person of color makes a statement disparagingly about, I think I just made up a word, disparagingly, whatever, about another person within the same race, and it is possibly true. It's true, for example, or I mean, I can give a lot of examples. Black folks do this, Black folks do that. I'm not going to start naming them because I want to start going down the rabbit hole. We know that to be true. We know there are some bad Black folks out here who handle themselves crazy, do stupid shit. We know this. So when an angry man or a CT brings that up, especially CT in a joking manner, or especially John Galt, when he says, "You Blacks," I understand that what they're saying, they're going down that rabbit hole deep. They're using that trope a little bit strong, but I cannot say that they're coons because some of the stuff they're saying is actually true. There are some degenerate Black folks. We know them. So when they talk about,
so you said, hold on. So hold on. are you defining a coon as somebody that has to lie on black people?
They have to lie on black people. They have to say,
like, because I'm not understanding why, like, anybody that's going to be disingenuous, they always add a little truth in there just so you could listen for a little bit, and then they're going to just start lying and narrative paint.
I disagree about the lie part. I mean, now it might fit to some of them. They might, again, I don't listen to them enough to even comment on what you're saying. I'm just going off.
I think you looking past the never mentioning the positive part. You are,
I got you
on purpose.
Cody, great point. I'm not bypassing it, and that's my whole point. I've heard CT say some good things about the black people. He's not necessarily just saying all negative things about blacks. It's part of his trope. It's part of his show. Like John Galt, it's part of his show. It gets the people coming in. But my question is this, not to turn this into another question. I believe in my heart, I'll say this, if something was to happen within our race, I do not see CT or John Galt or a Cellulite or a what's that guy named Peterson. I don't see them not being on the front line. I can honestly visualize them being on the front line with us. I really do. That's one of it. So do y'all not see them being on the front line for a big cause that us people come together to fight against the enemy? You don't see them being on the front line. Now, call me naive. I don't see them not be. I mean, I don't see them not disappearing and then fading to the black, especially CT, for an example. I see them on the front line too. I visualize that. I could be wrong. Now, y'all tell me. And it's just my assessment. Call me naive. That's my assessment.
Yeah, the only way any of those people that you said was going to go to the front lines is the white man to tell them to come to the front line with them. That is the only way. That is the only way. Welcome to the show. OG Do Dirty. Good day, sir. How you doing? What's your thoughts?
What up, man?
Chilling, bro. I'm catching up, bro. I just heard that little last part, bro. I believe, bro, that you give people the coon title, bro, when they do, like what Sharon and Oda was saying, bro. It's all about what they say and their actions. Actions go with what they say. Now, if they're not doing that, then I can understand where Otis is coming from. But if I can see you doing it in your actions too, then I would think that's why people are calling you that.
Okay, great point. Now, not asking you, OG, that I'm asking the panel, and you can answer as well. Tell me or show me where the names that we named, the Angry Mans, the CTs, the Cellulites, are actually showing action of them being coons.
It's whether you name anything, I mean, like how I named Angry Man in there, you know what I'm saying? Because Angry Man's a black man, and at the end of the day, he got a lot of knowledge, you know what I'm saying? He came from Islam or God body backgrounds, whatever. I think Islamic backgrounds as well, though, you know what I mean? People been around a lot of knowledge, you see what I'm saying? But yet, I understand that we have the degeneracies as a people, right? But when it is a chance that we actually highlight.
Hey, Udo, Islam got white people too.
They do, bro. I met Malcolm had to go take a trip. Malcolm had to take a trip, homie. He came back on Elijah Muhammad's body. So I get it. Bro. But I'm just saying, as far as you know how them brothers, I'm from New York. So you know how the brothers used to kick it with you. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish, knick-knack, paddywhack. You know what I'm saying? So you know how it's to go. So I get it. A lot of the knowledge of self and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I understand. But when it came to Pearl Davies, what had happened? It was a bunch of. Let me chill for Corey. Hoot me again. Let me just leave it be, Corey. Let me just chill. But like I'm saying, though, I think it's a consistency. I don't think it's just a one-off thing. Like if a person just speaking about black people and they're black and stuff like that, because you know what I mean, you could say and highlight anything that's true. If there's a truth there, there's a truth. But when we see a pattern of how people are moving and the way they pushing out, you could start to say, the hell going on? But you might say a person is, if you was on the other side of a person cooning on you, you might say, you's a coon, homie. You know what I'm saying? If you're on that other side of that fence or that finger pointing at you, you might be easier to say it. You know what I mean? Because who feels it knows it. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so this is how I feel about this whole coon conversation, man. I think we should stop the name calling and actually hold people accountable for the words that they actually say. Like
Okay.
the name calling is just what it comes down to. I guess a tick for tat. I'd rather someone stand up and say, I disagree with Angry Man. I disagree with this person because they made this amount of point. The name calling, proving that they are a coon is almost impossible because most of these words we're not even using the way that they was quote unquote designed. But the idea of just name calling them and just trying to belittle them because we disagree with what they agree with, I just think it's distasteful, from my opinion.
I could agree with you there.
But
Too.
Great point.
But no, but that's only if we think that calling any of those people coons because we disagree with them. That's not the reason why we call them a coon. It's not because of the disagreement. It's their stance on how they see everything negative about black folks.
Well, no,
That's
like
the part that
so for example, Chaotic Truth did a whole live about the white man that deleted his family, called him on fire, and talk about the degeneracy in white people. To me, just because you point out black issues, especially if you point out other race issues too, at this point, are you holding degeneracy accountable or are you quote unquote cooning, right? And I get that we don't like when black people hold other black people accountable, but I can say I'm okay with saying they have degenerate behavior because that can be proven. But the idea of the name calling is what I disagree with. But like I said, that's to each his own. Everybody can look at that whole situation different.
Yeah, I
no, but so pointing out bad situations in the neighborhood is one thing, but when you are attacking the black neighborhood, that is a different story. We cannot act as if these people just talk about the negativity in the black neighborhood in a productive way where they said this is what we need to fix. Though they are talking about it in an attacking way, a condescending way. They're not talking about it in a productive way of how we need to improve. They saying that we bad and we horrible and we ain't gonna never be able to fix it. We ain't gonna never be able to do these things. And they and they rhetoric, they thumbnails, and a depiction of black people is always at the bottom. They don't have no.
That's why I'm asking. I don't know if you watch Chaotic Truth lately, right? I don't know if you watched him lately. But just what I saw just yesterday, for example, he was going after why black Americans are actually at the top of the totem pole. He said that we always painted typically by tethers, which is interesting coming from Chaotic Truth. But he was holding a tether, in his words, I'm using his words, accountable for the simple fact that they always painted that we're not successful. He pointed out the success of security bosses, pointing out the people that's being successful. I know we don't see it a lot, but I also see him talk about the good in the black community. It's just typically those type of videos he do are very low videos, in my opinion.
PZ ain't going, okay, cool. Anti-black, is it? So how about that? Do we know anybody that's anti-black? That is black.
Yeah, I can say we can see some people anti-black, but I think the people like, let me give you an example. I don't think
Can we call black people that are anti-black, can we call them coons?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I don't believe that we can take an anti-Daniels. We could take an angry man. We could take a Chaotic Truth who's creating black families and call them anti-black. That's just like I get that we don't agree with them. I get that they have a hard way.
But you saying the premise as because we don't agree with them. Yeah, that's the wrong premise. That he making monkey sounds, but when we having a disagreement, he make monkey sounds. That is beyond
bullshit. Anyway, because let me ask this question real quick, big dog. Any family that a black man make is a black family.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah.
So why? So you can't use that's a bullshit argument to even use that they creating black families. Every black man out here creating families is creating black families. But so whether he be pro-black or anti-black.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is that I think it'd be distasteful if I say that Sharon is not pro-black, even though he hold black men accountable, right? or he don't believe in the black cause. Like when we talk about people that are degenerate in our community, that doesn't mean that we have a problem with black people in our community. We're just pointing out a small secular, and I can see that. And sometimes we say, well, why do you point them out in that way? I know that we believe that maybe it's distasteful, but I think we just give out this coon title a little bit too easy. But that's just my opinion.
I got
If you black and you don't want your kids playing with black kids, you don't want your kids going to school with black kids. 85% of your friends are others, and goddamn me, the 10% of the 15% is your kinfolks and cousins and brothers and shit. Big dog, you anti something, and you anti self, you anti black, you anti something.
Yeah, I get it, but that's what I'm saying. I just think that's not chaotic true story. I get what
the bill.
Do you know chaotic truth?
No, I'm saying we ain't even got to make it about chaotic truth, because that's just a point he want to stand on because he feel like he knows something. I'm saying overall.
How long?
Okay,
How
go
long
ahead,
have you
bro.
known Chaotic Truth? I met him over 10 years ago. He used to come to my channel, literally. My first channel was monetized in 3 weeks. He used to come to my channel, come around with the same dumb shit. At the end of the day, when are you going to call a leopard when we start seeing spots? Because I know him longer than you do. That's a fact. I've been on YouTube way before you ever came here. That's a fact.
But they don't want to call no names.
You can't tell me about. I've known and seen these people. I was around when Kevin was alive, all of that. I was outside on these YouTube streets with my YouTube boot, busting it.
I give you that.
I've been out here.
You got 10
But they don't want to call no names, though. They don't want you to say that these dudes are lame. They don't want you to get what I'm saying. They want to get you away from calling them any kind of names. Just let them be dudes. Just dudes living on earth. They don't want you to be called no name. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I watch people, right, kicking the backs of black people any day, and then you get around white people and you just lift them up. You know what I'm saying? You ever see Princess in the Mario Brothers 2? When the princess just lifts up? Mario Brothers 2? You're like, all right, if you want to lift for white people, Hispanic people, everybody, then lift it all up. I'm not a racist person, so I'm not knocking that. But I'm not going to be kicking down the backs of my own people and then to do that. You know what I'm saying? I think that is where we start to say, like, okay, let's like how we take Pearl Davis. Look how people treated her with kid gloves. You know what I'm saying? People lifted her up. They was making defenses for her. And at the same breath, they're like, yo.
And she throwing haymakers at their ass while they being all soft and friendly.
Kicking their back and beating them down.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
She throwing haymakers and leaving black guys and Uncle Do-Nots on top of their goddamn head. But they being all friendly and soft with the pale little girl. But then soon the black woman show up on the counter, they get to going straight out, bitch, what the hell you doing? Bitch, you them kids in there hungry, bitch, and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? They go straight there.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to things like that, I know that people do it for grifts, they do it for money, but that's your own integrity that you're losing. You're risking your own integrity to do it, whether you're doing it for money, you're doing it for clicks and views, you're doing it to get large on internet, whatever you doing it for, that's your integrity that's going out.
The white bitch playing in your face.
You know what I'm saying?
The white bitch playing in your face, started slapping you hard as she can and telling you she playing. I was just bullshitting. No worry.
They accept it too.
So like, okay, so I'm trying to understand. So basically, so when I'm saying hold them accountable for the worst that's coming out of their mouth, right? We agree with that part, right? First,
no,
any of us.
No, I don't.
I do not
agree. I don't agree with that, bro, because I hate when people say that all the time. We can't hold people accountable, bro. What you can do is have a conversation with them and show them where they messed up, or where you believe that they messed up, or where their logic is faulty, right? But what you can't do is try to get somebody you can't get nobody to hold themselves accountable. They got to do that themselves. That's a self thing, sir. They got to recognize that. I get tired of people on the internet always saying we come up here to hold people accountable. No, you come up here to expose the things that they say, or the lack of the lack of their knowledge, right, of whatever they're talking about. But they are gonna have to be the one to accept that accountability and then go forward from there. You can't do nothing as a content creator. You can't do nothing as a panelist. You can't do nothing as a person in the chat. It's
not
simple
true.
as that. I've been seeing this over YouTube. People been trying to do it for years, bro. When I first came here, I seen people trying to do it, and I thought it was the stupidest thing ever, bro. Because you can't get nobody to do something for themselves, because you ain't autonomous, bro. You're not.
Well, let me ask this question.
You can't go out and do nothing.
I got you. Because based off what you're saying, oh, do dirty. Can the community hold the individual accountable?
That's crazy word.
That's crazy.
What you say, man? Ask the question again, man.
Can the community hold the individual accountable?
No.
If they kick them out the community or something, but look though, you can mainly only hold accountable people who care about your opinion, though, B-Dog.
Thank you.
No. Okay. So let me ask you a question. Do our law and order, our court system hold people accountable?
Yeah, because they can punish them though.
They can't punish you. So let me ask the question: can you be punished on YouTube by the community?
No.
That's crazy to me. That is
you know how.
Explain to us how, E-Man.
Yeah. Matter of fact, explain before I say something.
So what I'm trying to help people understand is, if a group of people agree that they're gonna hold this person accountable, one way of holding them accountable is withholding your support. Withholding your support. If we had 1 million people say, I'm not supporting this, we're holding those people accountable, because they're being punished for what they're doing. Especially if we're looking at it from a monetizing point of view. So this idea that we as a community on YouTube cannot hold people accountable, I think is not true. It's just that we don't agree as a community. That's why individuals typically not held accountable.
No, either, man. You got to think about what you just got through saying. Who holds that power, bro? Is it the people or YouTube?
The people.
To the monetization, sir.
The people.
You think the people holds the monetization?
Absolutely.
You don't believe it's the terms and the conduct that you put yourself on YouTube, sir?
Because the first thing,
you can still get punished, bro, in ways from YouTube, bro, from nudity to the way that you talk, to the way that you say keywords.
I'm not saying that YouTube cannot hold you accountable too.
That's not, but you got to hear out what other people saying, bro. Matter of fact, go ahead and cut me off and tell me what you're gonna say, then I'll tell you after that.
So like I was saying, I'm not saying that YouTube cannot hold you accountable too, but people can hold you accountable too, because they're part of the monetization process.
Okay, but why don't we hold you accountable? Because you're supposed to be the vice president, but you ain't been here. You only come down 1 or 2 times, and I thought you was the vice president of the Trade Channel. And everybody else
accountable.
They did hold me accountable. They impeached me. I got impeached. I was held accountable right over here.
Opportunist, homie. I'm equal smokes. Okay, cool.
I'm just saying, I got held accountable by the SBG game, and I got impeached in real time. They held me accountable, right? That's literally holding me accountable. I ain't even got no title over here no more.
Okay, I got you.
But let me ask you a question. You got impeached, right? So your punishment was because you didn't show up that they took you up out your position, did? Or are you still able to come over here? Ain't you on the panel?
No, I don't have the power I used to. Sharon, to tell you, my power is gone over here. And I would be cutting y'all off. If I still had my power, y'all niggas would be able to talk over here. I'm just letting you know. I am more grateful now that I'm a citizen and I'm not a public figure.
So
let's be clear.
So from what I just got through hearing, it was a good thing that you said. It was funny, but it sounded like Sharon took you out your position, bro. It don't sound like
the people did. No, he did it to vote.
People did, bro. It wasn't Sharon.
It was the people. If it was up to Sharon, I'd be the vice president till Jesus come back. I'm just letting you know. But he let the people vote.
Hey, Sharon, can we show him what accountability is? Can you put him back in position? Can you make him, even though, look, you the president of this thing, right? You got your people that vetoed him up out of here. Can you bring him back? Can you give him, can you get that boy another term?
But then the people gonna hold me accountable.
How they gonna hold you accountable? How they gonna hold you accountable on your own channel, sir?
They can't hold you
Because-
accountable.
They definitely can hold you accountable.
donating. Stop
Not
donating.
donating, not liking, not watching.
not coming to
That's
the
a
panel.
punishment. That's
Yeah.
like jail. That's YouTube
No,
jail.
you-
We can start calling that YouTube jail.
Wait, stop. You believe that if Sharon told E the man that he was coming back, that people gonna stop supporting, bro?
Not that example, but
You let other people make your
example.
decisions on what you do, bro. I didn't got into it with so many people on here, bro. I done had conversations with so many people. Can't nobody tell me what I can spend my money on. Y'all crazy.
I mean,
We're not crazy.
I'm just telling you like this idea that the people on YouTube cannot hold you accountable. We saw this with what's his name, the guy that was
That was my
pandering to
point.
women.
They can't hold you accountable, sir.
They can't. Hold on, let me tell you.
Derek Jackson.
Derek Jackson was held accountable by the people, without a doubt.
But he came back bigger, though. Then he came back bigger.
He did not come back
Absolutely.
bigger.
Not only that, look, people like Obsidian is held accountable by the people, right? They did what they had to do to get up out of here, right? So
He ain't up there.
Who is that?
You on mute, Sharon.
I was on mute that whole time.
Yeah.
All right, so did the video play?
The video played.
It cut off. It cut off.
But
at the end.
Brownsville's
That's why I
not
put
here
you
yet on the
mute.
screen.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. It's I don't know.
The video played though.
StreamYard, it's a
So,
lot.
E-Man, was
I
you
got
saying
it,
that you wanted? Was you saying that people should get people demonetized?
No, I don't think he was saying that. I think
Yeah,
he was
no,
saying that.
no, that's not what I'm
Okay,
saying.
Accountability. OG Do Dirty is saying that the people cannot hold content creators accountable, and I think that's wrong. I think they absolutely can.
Correct.
No, I'm saying E-Man. I'm asking E-Man what was his point, and what he was saying.
Okay, you good there? You can see us and hear us. Okay, there we go. Because
What girl would you do, dog?
What's going on, Brownsville?
Yo, peace and love. What's going on with y'all fellas, man?
What's going on,
We're
bro?
doing well, thank you.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
No, you came up here to say something. That damn video ain't play for nothing. Go ahead and talk. You got the flow.
What was you saying, man?
Nah, I'm listening.
You gotta-
I'm listening.
You got to give your pieces to your brothers and your ladies. They in the chat.
Yeah, peace and love, man. Peace and love to all the
yeah.
kings and queens, man. All the queens in the chat. Peace and love to all y'all, man. What's good with you, cuzzo?
I'm well. I'm chilling, having a good time.
How's everything in China mainland, man?
Everything's good. Everything's solid. You know, everything is. It's hot as hell. It's 105 every day. 105, 106, 103. It's hot.
Yeah, I feel that, man. I feel that. But I don't know why these brothers, man, especially old
Here we go.
knucklehead Otis.
I do it.
Otis, my brother, you don't know what a coon is, man. You 55 years old.
I know. Here we go.
Right.
I know what I knew it. I knew it. I miss
But
you too, bro.
you didn't give the definition. He asked you, how do you
And I don't-
define a coon? And you act
It's
like you
hard.
don't know what the definition means.
I know what the definition is. I just can't call one off my
Okay,
head.
so what's the
I can't.
definition of a
can't.
coon? Okay, what's the definition
Same
of a coon?
definition that everybody's been using it, and you just because you came up here and you hold a lot of reverence and all that, I'm not going to give you the definition, and I didn't give it to them, so I'm not going to give it to you either. It's not going to happen. I know what the definition of it is to me. I know a coon when I see one, and I haven't seen a coon as of late. I know they out there. I know they exist. But the names that they mentioned, they don't represent cooning to me, not to me. And that's all I'm saying. They haven't established that. They haven't substantiated their point that the names that they've named, trying to give me examples of, are coons. No, they haven't.
Yeah, but so you do know that a person who betrays the black community for personal gain,
Okay.
a person who the majority of their talking points or rhetoric is disparaging the black community while also uplifting other communities above the black community.
Great
That's
example.
what a coon
Yeah,
is,
great-
right? Do you
great-
agree
great
with that
definition.
definition?
Yes, I agree with that definition 100%. And with that being said,
so
okay.
To that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
The majority of chaotic truths, talking points, and rhetoric is what?
Not Coney.
So what
he's pointing out, I answered your question directly. He's pointing out the degenerate behavior of some black folks in our community. That's what he's doing. And I don't see him uplifting white folks, as you say, but I do see him bringing forth the degeneracy of some black people like you and your cousin do on a regular basis.
No, but see, and that's the thing.
No.
You must not be familiar with his content, right? Because the overwhelming majority of his content is disparaging the black community, right? I've never seen Chaotic Truth do a show ever where he's disparaging the community of other races, ever.
Did Uda just say he did one yesterday or one day this week? You just said that, Uda, correct?
I think that was Man. I think that was Eda Man Williams said that.
Was it Eda Man?
What he said was he pointed out one example of a degenerate man, not the community. It's different when you could just point out one person, but the community is different.
And that's the thing. See, the problem I have with y'all brothers, man, and I'm just gonna be honest, right? You act like you don't have any type of situational awareness or basic level of understanding when people are playing in your face, right? Like we talk all the time about how we want our young people to exercise a certain level of discernment. Well, we got brothers such as yourself, 55 years old, well-spoken, articulate, and then when we ask you to give your insight on a controversial topic, a basic definition, and for some reason you stumbling and you fumbling, you don't know how to answer the question, you don't know the definition and meanings of words, and now all of a sudden you don't want to be honest about people that you may want to have conversations with in the future.
Wow, you got all that?
To me, that's weak. That's weak, right? Because it don't matter who I'm talking to, right? I'm gonna call a spade a spade. If I'm around you and you are always talking a certain type of way and you're always around a certain type of people, I'm gonna call a spade, right? So let me give you an example, right? There was a UFC fighter not too long ago. He won the fight and then he called randomly, just said Michelle Obama is a man, right? His name is Josh Hughley. He's known as being a MAGA, and he's a UFC fighter, and he's very controversial with his rhetoric, right? Now, if you, as a brother, if I see you aligning yourself with him and I see you with him and you ain't getting no pushback and you watching him say all these things, my brother, I'm going to call you a coon. I don't have to hear you say things or do things. You could just be aligning with certain people in certain rhetoric. That's called having discernment. That's called having a certain level of situational awareness to where, hey, I don't have to come straight out and hear you say certain things. It's how you moving. It's who you're associating yourself with. Now, everybody want to be friends in this space and say, oh, I want to be able to hit such and such panel, so I don't want to call them out for the lame stuff that they doing. But no, call it out. If you see it and it's wrong, you disagree with it, say, yeah, that's he on there, he cooning. I don't know what's going on with him right now, but he cooning. If I see Cuz online and he cooning, I'm going to come online and say, Cuz, you cooning right now. You wilding. What's your problem? And that's my family. But we're going to have honest conversations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to, come on, man. We men. We supposed to be men, right? We're supposed to be logical. We supposed to be fearless.
Is my turn?
We supposed to not be afraid to have a heated conversation as long as we're getting to some type of solution, some type of understanding. Chaotic Truth is a coon. Angry Man is a coon.
That's crazy.
Let's just be honest about these things. Jesse Lee Peterson is a known coon. I don't care what anybody say. That's just the majority of their rhetoric is disparaging the black community. The majority of what they're doing is at odds with black culture. You're aligning yourselves with known racists. If you're doing 2 out of 3 of those things, then we got to call a spade a spade. Now, if you don't want us to call you a coon, stop cooning.
You done? Okay.
Stop trying to use the black community to exploit the black community. Stop trying to align yourselves with MAGA racists just to fatten your pockets. Because that's the easiest thing to do. Right? The reason why Officer Tatum, right, is doing everything that he's doing is because why? It's making him money. He gets a profit, right? So yeah, you know, he don't care about the image of being called a coon. He care about his bank account at the end of the day. That's what he's doing, what he's doing. He cooning. Let's just call a spade, man.
Okay. I'm gonna go now because you're starting to repeat yourself, but I'll do
Go
respect.
ahead, my brother.
Okay, I appreciate that. I haven't seen you in a while, and you come up here and you, first of all, you attacked me. You did, but I'm not taking it personal because that's what you do. That's part of your shtick. That's what you do. But with that being said, you have yet to justify you calling them gentlemen coons. You just went on your rhetoric and went to your little dialogue, your little diatribe and whatever. And within doing that, you insulted me at the same time, which is fine. I'm not a coon, and I don't believe them gentlemen are a coon. I don't agree with all they say at all, but I don't believe they're coony. I believe a lot of that, especially CT and Angry Man, is doing it for views on their show because they know that topic and the way they talk will garner support because there are some degenerate people that fit that criteria that they're talking about. Like when you and your cousin talk about the Rim brothers, there is a certain sector of that here that fits that criteria. That's why he meaning Sharon has that type of support over here on the chat, and that's why he garners that. Get it? I understand that. I'm not naive, but just because you guys make them statements, and OG Dirty, I agree with him, and Peter Man, we use that term too loosely. To me, they're not coony. They're not.
And here's the thing.
You have yet to prove to me that there are.
I'm going to prove it to you right now.
He said everything I said to you, Otis. Same shit I've been saying to you.
I'm going to prove it to you right now, Otis. Otis, I'm going to prove it to you right now. Right?
I got you, sir. I'm here.
You're a father of a daughter, correct?
Yes, correct.
I'm a father of a daughter as well. Now, my daughter is younger than yours. She's about to turn 16. Or she just turned 16, rather. She's about to turn 17, right?
Yes.
Now, me as her father, if I see a young man coming to approach her to try to date her, and he's sagging his pants, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's looking a certain way.
Mm-hmm. He's
speaking a certain way, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He's communicating a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, hey, this is a degenerate.
I agree. We there. Got you. Keep going.
See, that's the proof right there. Because here's the thing.
You ain't proved nothing.
When it comes to but what I'm saying is when it comes to categorizing a certain image of a black person, right? You're quick to agree without even further proof. I'm calling him a degenerate just based upon what I observe, just based upon what I see. Right? Just based upon what I hear. Now, me calling this brother degenerate doesn't mean he has to be a degenerate, right? He could have a good job. He could be a straight A student. He could come from a good home. good parents, and all those different kind of things, right? But you see how quick you were to utilize discernment when it comes to, hey, yeah, if we see this, if he looks like a duck, he walks like a duck, he quacks like a duck, maybe he's a duck, right? But when it comes to us identifying a coon, now all of a sudden, well, we don't have enough information. We don't have enough evidence. We gotta prove that they're a coon.
Again, all that talking, and you still have yet to prove to me that they're a coon. All that talking. If this was a court of law, that shit would be thrown out. I object, Your Honor. It's irrelevant. You have yet
but see, here's the thing.
That he's a coon. You haven't. I agree with your analogy that you use about your daughter. I get all that.
No, what I'm proving, one
degenerates out there, and you know the
you missed it because what I proved.
I might have. Okay, explain it to me again. You might be right. I probably missed it.
Don't explain it again. Don't do it. Hey,
no, I want to hear it. No, because trust me, if you say I missed it, that means some other people missed it too. Just because you saying something don't make it true. So explain it to me again, because I'll be real about it. If I missed it, I missed it. Come on,
what I proved was your hypocrisy, right? Because before I hit the panel, you kept telling the brothers on the panel, prove to me that this person is a coon. Prove to me that this involves racism. Prove to me these things. And if you can't prove it to me, then you can't say it. You can't label it. You can't, put that in that box.
Okay.
But you don't feel that same way when it comes to demonizing a young black man, right? When it comes to how a young black man dresses, how a young black man speaks, how a young black man moves, you're quick to say, well, yeah, the degenerate, right? You were quick. Before I even asked you the question, you say, yeah, I agree. He's a degenerate. But on the flip side, when it comes to men who you affiliate with and who you may align yourself with some of their views.
Let me stop you right there. I don't affiliate with none of them. Stop it. But keep going. But don't, that's what I'm talking about. You adding stuff that's not even true. But keep it going, though. I'm not affiliated with none of them guys. But keep going.
Okay, whatever. Here's the thing, right? You just proved the point. You're not willing to call a spade because it's based upon who you like or who you don't like. Or if you agree with some of the things they say and do. You're not willing to be objective. That's the whole thing. You're not even willing to own up to your own biases, right? So if you ask me, right, Brownsville, are you biased? Yes, I'm biased. Brownsville, are you opinionated? Yes, I'm opinionated, right? Because all of us are. That's the bottom line. There's nobody up here that's gonna say, well, yeah, you know what? I'm just completely objective about anything. I don't, have a stance. Everybody has a stance. Everybody has an opinion. And I'm just not afraid to say what side I'm on, regardless of the situation. I learned a long time ago, Otis, not to play the fence. Either you stand on this side or you stand on that side. Because people who play the fence are too wishy-washy. You can't trust them. Those are the people who always end up getting hurt. And what I'm saying to you is if we're having a conversation and Uda is pointing out to you clearly why he feels that this person is a coon. He's making it plain to you.
And I disagree.
When Chaotic Truth hits the panel, the first thing he do is coon. Every time he hits the panel and there's a black woman on the panel, what does he say? He says things like, and Jemima.
Is that me?
No, I think because you starting to have some feedback.
Yeah, I was wondering what that meant. I thought that was me, my fault.
Yeah, he started to get some feedback.
Yeah, run back up. because your camera was off too.
Brownville does a lot of talking, and I
Yeah, my mic must
respect
be
this man. I really do. I respect him, but I totally disagree. And to me, he was basically saying the same thing, just on the opposite side. I know what a coon is when I see one, and I know what a degenerate is when I see one. Facts. I'm not on nobody's fence. I'm
What's
just
a
the type
coon,
of
Otis?
person. Hey man, stop it. Stop it.
I'm
I'm
not disingenuous. I'm asking a question.
The same. My definition is what Brownsville said. His definition. I agree with
I
that.
didn't hear it either.
Okay, well, I'll let Brownville tell you again. Brownsville, tell them what the definition of cooning is, because I like his explanation. I like his definition. I agree with 100%. That's his definition. That's mine as well. I agree with that. So
Is
Brownsville,
Brownsville
can you
here?
tell them? Brownsville, is he here?
A person. This is
That's way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's way. I think he frozen right now, though.
We could read it. We could read it right here. It says,
okay, say it, because I agree with the
I think
definition.
we said the same shit before Brownville ever got here.
Right. I just don't agree with.
Can we define? So shout out to Edelman Wells. Can we define coon? Absolutely. It seems like Uda is about to give us a textbook version of the definition. Go ahead, Uda.
All right. Okay. They said historically shortened raccoon. I just wanted to put that part back out there. You know what I'm saying? They said was used in American characters to portray Black people as unintelligent, as lazy, or inferior. Okay. To accuse a Black person of acting in a way perceived as submissive toward or seeking the approval from white people or racist attitudes. See what I'm saying? That's just basically, you know what I'm saying, in a nutshell. You know what I mean? Because we understand where it came from. But when we see how people are acting, and a lot of time people do it for a monetary gain or whatever it is, whether it's to get views or clicks, whatever it is, you sacrifice your integrity. You throw your integrity out of the window, like I said before, or it takes the steps down, whatever your integrity did, but you got to sacrifice some part of you to even do it. You know what I'm saying?
Can you read the last part of that definition again? Not the other stuff that's not a part of it.
Yeah, the last part. The last part, it says to accuse a Black person of acting a way as perceived as submissive toward or seeking approval from white people or racist attitudes.
Stop there.
Yeah.
So that action in itself doesn't need a monetary gain for someone to do it.
Oh, no. I agree with that.
I'm not saying you say that. I'm just saying in general. A monetary gain is just an add-on for doing that.
Yeah.
When people, well, I guess I'll ask Otis, based on that definition of read it again, Uda, being submissive, what, and towards white people?
It says acting a way as perceived as submissive toward or seeking approval from white people or racist attitudes.
Okay.
So
stop right there.
I'm going to ask my question. You don't think Chaotic Truth or whoever else you guys named doesn't do the acts that they do to seek approval of white people?
Great point. And my answer would be unequivocally no.
What?
No. I do not believe CT is doing anything. And I'm being honest. No, I do not.
Nah, don't shoot him, Shadow. Don't shoot him.
Can I ask a separate question? I'm going to ask a different question. Otis, do you think CT separates himself?
Anybody that we named. You don't guys put it specifically on him.
Do you think, like people like CT or whatnot, do you think he separates himself from the quote unquote Black community as an exception to the rule, and what he's speaking on and what you guys were alluding to, degeneracy and all that other stuff, is the majority of Black people, not a subsection like he perceives himself?
I think a lot of us, some of us, put ourselves above what you just said. I believe Sharon does. I believe Brownsville does. I definitely believe I do. For real, we all fit that bill to a certain extent, just a little bit. I feel based on what he just said.
I'll dumb down my question. I'm gonna dumb down my question. All right.
Okay.
Ultimately, do you think people like CT or CT believe most Black people are degenerates and have a bad mental state about life and culture?
Great question. I don't believe they believe most. I believe they believe there's a subsection, like I believe, but I don't believe it's most.
Okay. I'll disagree with you there based on knowing CT longer than you and his rhetoric for the past 5 years. He's easy. If I can't speak for everybody, but if could just know him watching CT, he easily separates himself. He'll come into the panel and say, you blacks do this, you blacks do that. And he generalizes. He doesn't make it a subsection of black people that do some type of degenerate behavior or have a degenerate mind state. He pretty much
You're
generalizes black
intelligent.
Americans.
And he African.
You know damn well he's not talking about all when he says that. You know that.
I never said all.
What?
My position was never all. My position was always majority. It only takes 51%. And the way he speaks about black people is that his character, his demeanor, his thoughts is the exception to the rule. And degeneracy is black culture. Black culture is a degenerate culture. Black culture doesn't have a lot of value to it, and so much and so on. With that being it, now the coon part, I guess that one description about it having to be for the submission or appeasement of white people, I can't confirm or deny if he does it for white people, but I can confirm or deny he doesn't think most black people aren't degenerates or don't have a degenerate mind state. He thinks he is the exception to the rule. Just off of that. Now you guys can argue with him about if he's a coon or not, but I think plain dumb goofy about what a coon is, and we can kind of keep asking it like every 20 minutes, what's the definition of coon? I think we kind of all know what it is, and making the actual arguments like that point of does CT do it to appease white people, or does he just believe that and he's just running with a rhetoric and just so happen it goes with the narrative of being a coon?
What about betraying or degrading their own racial group? That's the end part. Betraying or degrading their own racial group, bruh. What?
Hold up.
But is that? But the front is it at the appeasement of white people though?
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. It has to be for white people.
Together. It's not part and parcel. It's put together. You can't just add that last part without adding the other part of the great point. Yes,
question.
I hear you, Josh.
Yesterday, how did we describe John Gog?
What did we say? He was degenerate? What was we say?
We said he was cooning. Why? Because
I don't recall. Refresh my memory. I don't recall.
Because, and as we had the conversation, we talked about how he consistently othered himself from other black people, and we then went through the different examples of how he did it. And you were like, "Yeah, that's cooning." Remember, we had that conversation, right? So CT, keep in mind, like I got no beef with CT, but CT does that every time I see him on any panel. Is he doing it for white people? I can't say that, but I can say he's crafting a character that is anti-black, because a majority of his rhetoric is in fact anti-black. Would you at least say that?
Well, so Shadow, it's interesting because we combining all these people together. So based off that theory that you're saying, Shadow, you believe that Angry Man is anti-black?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Hold on. I want to be clear. Hello. See, I want to.
Y'all ask a specific question. Wait a minute. Go for it.
It's okay. That's his opinion. That's what he know of the man.
So from what I've seen of Angry Man, again, from what I've heard him say and things that I've actually seen him say, having conversations with him, he doesn't seem anti-black as a whole. I think he's definitely an anti-black woman, but even though he says he's not, he just seems to be.
So this is something that's interesting, having this conversation, that people can't separate black people from niggas, right? It's like when we have these conversations, we say, "Oh, he must be talking about all the black people, right?" Or they must be talking about this. Like, based on y'all logic that y'all are saying,
thank you.
I can literally say that when these content creators are saying they're subgroup talking about a subgroup, it's no different from when Sharon is talking about the Rim Bros.
Thank you.
Hold on. Y'all let everybody else cook. Hold on.
I know why you were in.
Y'all let everybody cook. Y'all see how they do this. I told you I wasn't the vice president, Otis. I told you.
Hold on. The reason why, because y'all keep going with that rhetoric, but it's a lie, it's a false president, because literally Rim Bros is literally separating them. It's literally doing it. Hold on. Rim Bro is absolutely separating. It literally separates them in 3 different categories. It separates them in 3 different categories. There's no way you could say blacks is separating black people when you say black.
Yes, you can. You're not being truthful. You know damn well when John Gold make that statement, the blacks, or when CT says what he says, and and what Angry Man says what he says, they're not talking about a subsection. You won't even admit that. But it's clearly what they're talking about.
Have you seen them interact with white people? Have you seen them interact with white people, how they interact? Have you seen that? Why they don't got that same type of energy there?
For the record, let me say this. I've only been around 2 years. I only know CT and all them just as long as I've known Sharon. I'm being honest. Like you said, he's been on your channel for 10 years, Uda. I don't know.
10 years ago.
I don't know him 10 years. I'm going off the last 2 years.
Hold on.
I don't know if he was monetized when he was coming around my channel.
So you were telling me if I say the blacks is the same thing as saying Rim Brothers?
To me, yes, because when you let me be very clear. And let me lower my voice. Let me be very clear.
How's that possible?
I'm about to tell you. Like either man just articulated. When you and Brownsville say Rim Brothers and all that shit, to me, and when Angry Man or John Gold, whatever say what they say, to me, y'all saying the same thing about a certain section of black folks, degenerate. To me, you're not talking about all black people.
Okay, hold on, Otis. Tell me, explain to me how you separate. Hold on. Please listen to what I'm asking you.
Okay.
How can you separate black people and black people? What is the difference between those two?
When you say it like that, there is no difference, but there's a difference between degenerate, niggas and blacks. There's a difference between niggers and blacks, right?
Okay, thank you.
Right?
Thank you. So they don't say, they say black and
but you
black.
Know what they're insinuating.
I'm not insinuating. Hold on, please. Hold on. You have to listen because you try to separate it with the N-word. You tried to do that just now. You did that. They say we literally gave you verbatim what they say. They say the blacks. That's what they say.
When they say the blacks.
So what is the difference between the blacks and the blacks?
He's not saying that. When he says the blacks, he's saying the blacks as another adjective of saying quote unquote Rim Brothers or degenerates.
No, CT is literally saying.
Hold on. Please explain to me what is the difference between the blacks and the blacks. Explain that.
I don't even like that question. To me, that's a setup
question. Okay, so look, is it easy for you to say, hey, what's the difference between? Is it easy for you to tell the difference between men and Rim Bros?
Based on your definition, me being on your channel, yeah, it's a difference. Yes.
Okay, so now how can you say blacks and blacks is not the same?
I'm not saying that. I'm not playing your game, Sharon. That's what you do. I'm not saying that. You have that conversation.
What game? I'm asking you a dead ass serious question because you keep comparing. You saying that is a subsection, right?
Yes.
But I literally named the subsection. Is it a difference between red pill and an incel?
Are they part of the? I think they're part of the same group, correct? Rim Brothers, what the word?
Is there a difference between somebody that is a red pill person and somebody that is an incel?
Are you asking, is there a difference?
Yes.
The answer is yes, bro.
Okay, I believe. Okay,
yes.
They're all degenerates. They're all degenerates.
No, okay, but don't move it to something else. Hold on. Why are you moving into something else? I'm not asking you how many degenerates are there. I'm asking you, is it a difference between red pill and an incel person.
Yeah, there is a difference. Yes.
Okay, so therefore you understand that. So why are you acting as if when somebody say the blacks that is different, that is a subsection? How is that? And what is the separation? What is the word that separate good black people from bad black people when they say the blacks?
So let me ask you, so instead of answering that question,
Please answer me, please.
I don't want to answer that because I think that's I don't understand that. So what I'm going to say this. I know
this is what
difference.
they say.
Listen, let me say this. When, for example, John Galt say the blacks, I am not taking that personal, and I know for a fact he's not talking about me.
Hold on, pause there. Nobody, hold on. Stop changing it. Nobody's saying that he's talking about you personally.
Not me.
He is talking about hold on, please. When he say it, do you think he is talking about the general black population when he says the blacks?
No, I do not. No, I do not think it.
But
No,
you can't. So this is the thing, right? Unless they add the clarifier, like when I've seen Sharon, I've seen Angry Man, I've even seen John Gall, I've seen CT to an extent. I've seen John Gall to an extent. But if you ask Sharon, well, are you talking about all black men? Or are you talking about most black men? He's like, I'm talking about the Rim brothers, the Red Pill, the Incel, the Manish. So he'll clarify. I've even seen Angry Man, so I'll low-key throw him to the side. He'll say, well, hold on, I'm talking about niggas. I ain't necessarily talking about black folk. You know, black folk cool. I'm talking about, I've not seen CT do that. I have not seen John Gawk, whatever his name is, do that.
Okay.
So if they make a generalization, the only benefit that I can give them is they're not making an absolute. But I can say they're making a generalization. If they say, you blacks, the blacks do this, you blacks do this, like they're making a generalization on black people. They're not adding a clarifier that, well, I'm only specifically talking about niggas, or I'm only specifically talking about these black type of people. But no, they're making a generalization on black people.
Okay, Sway,
hold on. It's even worse because CT. Hold on. Wait, hold on. I want to.
I agree with
you
Sway,
respond.
but I'm taking.
Hold on.
I'm taking that as what he's saying.
Otis, the reason why I'm interjecting is because I've actually heard CT while we were all on this panel. Me, Sharon, Ida, Brownsville, Uda, all of us are very different black men. Most people will say that. Yet he said that's what's wrong with you blacks. So how is that? Us 5 different black men, the same black man. That's why they're saying he generalizes.
To answer your question and to piggyback off of what Sway said, because I like the way he broke that down. Just because John Galt or whoever, let me stop saying John Galt, say the blacks, me being a 55-year-old man is assuming and taking upon my common sense that he's not generalizing and talking about everybody. I'm that smart. I know he's not.
Okay, what's the difference between the blacks and
now,
you
don't have to agree with me, but that's my assessment.
No. You keep moving it. Hold on. Hold on. Otis, this can't be for real. How
do you think generalizing all means the same thing?
Right. Because we are saying general, and you turned it from general to all, literally just now.
CT has literally said all but him.
Hold on, no, because maybe this is where the point of contention is at.
Yeah, because I believe you may be right. Because I would admit if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. When you say general, when I hear general, to me, that's the majority. Correct me if I'm wrong. When you say general,
correct.
I'm
that's the majority.
Okay, thank you. So with that being said, when John Galt makes that statement, to me, he's not saying everyone. He's not being general and saying everyone.
You did it again.
No.
You said he's not saying everyone.
He's okay. Maybe I don't know the definition of general. I'm sorry. I bow out. Maybe I don't know the definition of general. I'm sorry. And you might be right.
Hold on. Do general to you means everyone?
To me, yes, it means the majority. The majority.
But do majority means everyone? That's the word that we getting twisted up. That's the word we disagree with right there. Everyone and majority. That's where we have in our disconnect at.
Okay. So based on that, majority could be what? 51%, from 51 to 100%. That's
51%.
Everyone is 100%, and majority is 51% and above.
Okay, so with that being said, we're on the same page. Well, I know the definition of general. So we got that clarified. Again, when somebody makes that statement, you blacks, again, to me, he's talking about a subsection, a section.
How do you know that?
So, okay, pause. Hold on. So just to be clear, when he say the blacks, you think he's talking about the minority?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
So
When he says,
I got cut off halfway in sentence.
Hold on. Let me just read the money. Let me just read the money real quick. PZ ain't going. Otis trying to tell y'all he one of the good ones. Go ahead, Peter, man.
Before I was cut out. Now, I don't know why people trying to say that John Goff is not in the category that they talking about. He's clearly there. I'm not advocating for John Goff, right? I think he done explicitly said that he was in that category, right? He even agreed to that. I'm separating him from the angry mans and the CTs, right? Because we even heard CT out of his own mouth says, I'm talking about these niggas. And we understand that on YouTube, people substitute words, quote unquote, the blacks. And I don't really hear TT say the blacks. That's a John Goff thing. He have said you're blacks. He said you're blacks. He was talking about what we all was agreeing upon at that point. He wasn't saying that black people was the same, but us who think the way that we was thinking on that topic. And that's why he said you guys that are black, right? So John Goff, I'm not advocating for. I do think that he have already said that he's on the other side. I think we all agree with John Goff. Start saying that angry man, we start saying CT, we try to throw them in the John Goff category. That's why I disagree.
Okay, Either man, I got a question before I pass it to everybody else. Do you think Steven from the Django is the same as the other house niggas that was in the movie?
No.
Okay, so that's the difference. So they angry man and them, they still house niggas. They just not John Galt level Steven.
Okay,
so they still all coons. It's just level 2 cooning as well.
So I don't. But that's what I'm saying. It's like angry man. Let me help you understand what I'm saying. If you was to tell me that angry man had a problem with women, I would agree. You're trying to paint the angry man got a problem with black people.
Woman. When we if I
could show you videos of him having an issue with black women, and then I also could show you a video of him having an issue with black men, saying that black men are not intelligent and black men are not then would you say, okay, yeah?
No, because I can show you him talking about white women.
That doesn't have anything to do with it.
That does, because now he's saying that he's separating degeneracy. He said that I get it.
But that one in a blue moon shit don't equate to everyday, all day shit, big dog.
Come on.
Yeah, well, no, but even like Sharon says that he don't talk to women because his audience is to hold men accountable, right? Do y'all agree that Sharon said that? So he don't.
My premise is to talk to men because I am a man.
All right, so listen. So if his premise to talk to black people because he's black, how can we now paint it that the premises are different? We would not call Sharon these things. That's the point that I keep telling y'all.
Bro.
We got work.
But that's not what he says. He don't call himself black. He called himself Bino. He literally called himself Bino.
He definitely called himself a black man.
But they call Sharon a simp and pounderer for what he do.
Hold on. The name Bino means black in name only. It's literally taking itself out of it.
I don't agree with that.
He's not. No, wait.
I'm not throwing angry man or CT in the coon category for different reasons. But John Galt, we could all agree. Even I think who is it? What's the twin? The twin. Because he already agreed. Fuck. What is your name, sir? I forget your name. Otis. You also agree that John Galt is a coon, yes?
Coonish.
Is he majority or minority coon?
Minority.
Coon-ish is diabolical.
He's
Wait a
minority.
minute.
All right,
No.
hold on.
Y'all
If,
just let that slide.
wait.
He
If John Gulk is a
hard-coded John
minority,
Gulk's win.
stop. If John Gulk is a minority, damn. Be coon. You got to give me an example who's a majority or a full-out coon, Otis. Like, because you have a scale in your head. So who could you represent as majority coon or all coon?
Your connection is
Listen,
real
John
bad.
Galt
And I don't
gotta
have
be
it.
at 100% coon. Like if it was
Yeah,
a
I
scale
think-
that we needed,
Yeah, he got to be 100%. Hey, we can't listen. We got to put somebody in the category, Otis. We can't say the category don't exist because that's disingenuous.
You got to give us a level of coon, bro. Who's 50%,
That's
100%
the
coon?
difference, though. I don't think he want to use the term. I think he trying to say like that is non-existent in these days type thing. So I think that's the difference. I don't think he outright saying it, but I think that's what he leaning towards, like is non-existent or something.
No, I'm not saying that, Cody, but great assessment. Nice try. I know there are coons out there.
I just think if you have a scale, if you have a scale
But
in
if
your
you know
head,
there
but you
are,
can't
you will be able to describe one or what Sway is asking you to do. What we've been asking you to do for
Just name
2
one.
hours. You will be able to do it. You understand what I'm saying? But you say you have an idea and you say you know that it exists, but you can't give us a description.
No, I'm not. I don't know of one as of right now, an actual name. I don't. And to me, I'm not that invested in
But
it.
what would the actions be represented as a 50% to 100% coon? Like you have a scale. That would just mean your opinion is worthless.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me tell you why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Either man, do you think because they just recently realized that they look alike, that's why he don't want to call John 100% coon?
Maybe that's the case, but I'm trying. Let's be clear. Hold on. Let me give you an example of what happened on this show. What we saw is Chaotic Truth start separating the two groups of black people. He was talking about the black people that was part of the Divine Nine. We did this on Sharon's show. He said these was the great black people who are educating our kids. And he literally talked highly of black people on this show and said that he had a line between degenerate black people and good black people. So even Sharon saw that. So that's what I'm saying is we can't just say that he's included. I do think that Sharon do got a good point that he's saying, I'm not saying he's John Galt. Can we give him a level of it? And I think that's the conversation we really need to have.
So we could just keep pretending Sway didn't call Otis John Goat. So we can just keep doing that.
So Otis, can we give 90%? John Galt 90% coon.
Get you too, sure.
Listen, man. I don't even care that much about John Galt. Hey, that's why I keep saying
we didn't ask if you can. We didn't ask if you can or not.
I'm not that invested. I'm gonna say this, and I don't care how it's being perceived or taken.
80%. Come on, 80%. Come on, 80%.
I don't care, bro. I really don't.
We didn't ask if you can or not.
I don't, man. I don't. All I know is I know a coon when I see one.
The application is in, y'all.
Is it?
Now I understand. Now I understand, Cody. When he look in the mirror, he's like, "God damn, me and John Galt look too much alike." So therefore, he can't see it in John Galt.
Yeah, he put the application in. We don't know about it. Check his emails.
God damn, he do be hanging. Hey Cody, he do be hanging around some tethers. Hey Cody, he do be hanging around some tethers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so you know.
I don't even like that term. See, listen, I'm not on this damn panel, and I blame you, Brownsville. Everything was cool. You showed up. Listen, I shouldn't even be on this damn panel. This is crazy.
He said, I need to go. He said, I need to get away from your blacks. You start to sound like them talking about you need to get away from us.
What do you say, E-Man?
You better not go full evil twin on us. Otis, you
said,
better not go full evil twin on us and say I can't be around you blacks. You better not.
Of course, I'm just I don't even feel that way. But no, y'all crazy, man. This is I feel like I'm being jumped on for real, which is fine.
I'm on your side. I just said we got to put somebody.
I know you are, Eater Man. I appreciate.
Listen, I'm just saying that we just gotta say that it exists. We know that it exists, and John Goff is the example. If he's the example, I think if we make him the example, it proves that Angry Man is not John Goff, in my opinion. But we can't just say,
And that's
"Oh, he's
right."
like we
agree with
gotta
that,
send
man.
on somebody."
So how about this, Otis? Do you believe when John Go at 98% cooning, right? Do you believe he's 90% cooning when he is on the panel with B Slave talking about black people?
That's cooning. Now that is cooning. I forgot about that white boy John. Yeah. Okay. That's corny because I visualize the actual segment you're talking about. Yes, when that white boy get up there, he
get acting different. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I give you that. Now, see, thank you. Give me an example.
Slap the taste out of your mouth. I'd like to see it.
And from my opinion, this is my opinion. I don't think Angry Man start acting different around white folks.
It says, take a quick break, John Gulk. John Gulk, you better save your brother, John.
He a lot more agreeable though when them white folks show up.
I said, Shadow, next time put John Galt 2000.
Damn. They done got John Galt. You better have your brother back, goddammit. He
Tell
had
John,
your back. You better have his back.
John Goff, come up here, man. Maybe he can define this one. Come on up here, John Goff.
John Goff, did you say brother?
What cooling is?
I want to see if he looking because he made a statement that says that he kind of identified with that side. I just want to see if he's gonna stand on that.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy.
But I think there's a subset of black men who get defensive and they don't want to call certain people coons because then they might look in the mirror and say, well, you know, I kind of align myself with a lot of what he say and do. So if I call him a coon, then I got to call myself a coon. So they say, nah, he ain't a coon.
Damn.
I think Eater Man's probably doing that as well, right? He don't want to call certain people a coon because a lot of the rhetoric and a lot of the alignment he shares in those opinions. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think then that's when the disingenuous come because the half of the show I've been calling out white folks. See, that's the difference. That's the difference. Is that if these guys say, hey, I got this problem with black people, but I also got a problem with white folks, I don't look at that as cooning. They're saying,
don't provoke me to anger, or else you be in danger.
They done brought anime back.
Wanda, non-shadow, let him live. John Gulk, cousin, come back. Let's argue.
One day, shit.
So I want to be clear. What I'm saying, Brownsville. I don't think it's a problem with black men calling out black people. I just feel like you have to be able to call out both sides because now you're just saying you got a problem with degeneracy, right? That's not cooning. I have seen John Goff become a whole new person when white people come around. That's why I can't argue. I don't know why we're trying to argue this point that he is not fitting that definition.
But coons are degenerate too, though.
Cool.
But I seen at one time, I think a couple of years ago, when I first got introduced to Chaotic Truth on Sharon's show, I went and I said, well, I want to see what kind of stuff he's doing on his show. So I clicked on his show and I was listening to a little bit. And he had a whole bunch of just random racist white people on his show, and they were speaking exactly the same way he speaks, right? They'll be talking about a black woman, and they'll say, "Oh, look, that's Harriet Tubman," and they'll laugh. They'll say, "Oh, look, that's Sojourner Truth," and then they'll have a laugh. You know, that's a common trope amongst racist white people to call opinionated black women and try to compare them to our black civil rights leaders of the past, right? We know
That's fair. Hold on, if that's fair, if I find a content creator that have a whole bunch of degenerates around them, can I call that content creator a degenerate?
If he's aligning himself with their rhetoric and with their lifestyle, right? If he is agreeing with them, aligning himself with their lifestyle and with their rhetoric, yes.
See, that's why I call you full of shit.
So
Yeah, if he ain't combating that shit, he agreeing with it. I think Brownville is right though.
Brownsville is wrong. And thank you, Wanda, by the way, for bringing me back. I appreciate
How is he
that.
wrong?
And Brownsville, the next time you talk that mess when I get booted off.
This shit that got personal. This shit that got personal.
Brownsville know what he be doing. Yeah, I watched him. You know what the hell he be doing. He'd start talking that mess after I got off, talking about I aligned myself with him. I mean, with those people. And that's why I'm not really saying what he feels I should say. And it's out of order. But that's cool. I'll let you have that.
To be real with you though, Otis, I kind of think the application I've been put in too, big dog. So I'm saying
you ain't shit either, Cody. You ain't shit either.
My fault. I've been working on me though. I'm trying to get better.
Otis, and you don't even realize you was doing it, but you was kind of, because I was in and out listening to the show, and when you was kept asking Cody and Sharon and Edelman Williams as well, hey, well, prove to me that this Nolan Wells case is about race, right? And they kept telling you basically all the facts, right? He was the only young black man who didn't return when they all went on the island, right? The fact that there was conflicting statements, the fact that we got a history of racial oppression that come out of Mississippi, right? The fact that they got his cell phone and he didn't even have his cell phone, but apparently he wanted to stay on the island with no type of communication to the outside world, right? The fact that nobody is willing to give a statement of what happened. And you still take all that information and say, well, no, I don't think it's based about race. That's an example.
For you to be a police officer, your ass know better about
the thing
statements.
That's an example of coolness. I'm just being honest with you, right? Because if we reverse it, right, just like we can kind of compare it a little bit to the Carmelo Anthony situation, right? So when Austin Metcalf lost his life, right, that was a tragedy. Nobody said it wasn't, right? However, we all understood that Carmelo Anthony was going to have to answer for that. He was going to have to go to trial. He was going to have to, you know what I'm saying? Like his livelihood was going to be on the line because this young white man lost his life for whatever reason, right? And on the flip side, we see that this young black man, he's lost his life, right? He was with all these white people, and nobody know what happened. Nobody has any answers. Nobody is telling us what's going on. That's highly suspicious. That's highly speculative in terms of what's actually going on, right? You know, I just think we got to be honest about these conversations, right? In a lot of situations, you're not going to have flat out proof on, you know, what really happened, but you got to take the totality of the circumstances. You got to look at things from all avenues, right? And what we should all agree with today is when it comes to that Nolan Wells case, something ain't right.
Hey, look how you look though.
You said I agree with Brownsville.
How you call for help and then say we don't need help? Don't worry about it. Hey, you call for help. Your whole purpose for making this call was for help.
I'm just saying you was gonna help.
4 seconds into the conversation, do you need help? Silence for about 3 seconds, and then, oh no, we don't need no help. Don't worry about it. We good. Just chill. My granddaddy know everybody and everything good. Huh?
And then Otis, I want to ask you this question, Otis.
Come on, man.
If it was a white boy that lost his life in the same situation, do we think that it would be statements on what happened, Otis?
Be honest.
If this happened to, I'm trying to let that question sink in. If this happened to a white boy, what I think what?
Do you believe that any of the other white people would have made a statement of what happened?
Okay, I might be slow. What statements were made on the other side? Some black folks made a statement? I'm not understanding what you're asking me.
Okay, hello, listen. We understand that no statement was made because a black person lost their life. I'm asking.
What statement was made? What statement was made?
No, so wait, saying if Nolan was a white boy, do you think those people would have made statements about what happened?
They would have been more forthcoming and transparent. So he's asking you, if Nolan Wells was white instead of black, do you believe his so-called friends would have been more forthcoming and transparent to what happened?
I got you. Great question. I got you. Okay. I would say, just based off the way I am, I would probably say no. I would probably think they would do probably the same thing. I think they would still lawyer up. I don't think there would be no difference. I think they will still lawyer up and not talk because they know what the climate is and all that. I believe that. I believe that.
Otis,
they would do the exact same thing. I really do.
Because that's ridiculous. Yeah, I can't believe you got me to agree with Brownsville. That's ridiculous. If you think none of his friends would have made a statement for a white boy, that's crazy.
Because Otis, right? You're under the assumption that it was just an innocent drowning, that it was no foul play involved. Yes. Right?
No, I'm not under that impression. I don't know what happened.
Right?
No,
that it was just an ordinary drowning with no foul play, right? And all of those kids were white. I guarantee you facts would have came out. They would have said, hey, this is how he slipped off the boat. This is how he slipped into the water. This is how he drowned. This is what was going on. We was intoxicated or whatever. It would have been more people willing to be more forthcoming and honest and truthful about the circumstances that surrounded the death. You know this.
Okay, I got you. Even if I do retract that statement, even though I'm not, because I don't know, what point are you making? I don't understand the point. Because I can answer that question. I can answer that question and go down a big rabbit hole, but it'll change the whole topic of the conversation.
I can make my point. I got you. The point that I'm making, race is having a factor, because if it was a white boy from maybe you don't agree, the rest of us agree that it would be a statement stating on how the accident happened. Them actually not making a statement. Even, remember, this wasn't just them there. It was a whole bunch of white folks. Somebody saw what's happening.
1,000 people, nobody see a person drown in a big ass ocean. Over 1,000 people? How the hell? On this little ass island, do you see how small this damn island is, big dog? It's a small ass piece of grass, big dog. And so now you got this thousands of people, 1,500 people to 2,000 people out here on this island, and nobody sees nothing. That shit just makes no sense to me. You understand what I'm saying?
But 1,000 people didn't see what happened. So stop it. So when people make comments like that, they bring in their feelings in, their
No, I ain't say 1,000 people saw it. How silly would that be?
And then it comes out that this guy was on the swim team. Like, we still not factoring. He was on a swim team. I was on the swim team in high school. The one thing we understand. One thing
You
we
gonna
understand
see
is how to tread water and how to be able to prevent yourself from drowning. So I'm telling you that we know it's foul play. We know that he's getting treated different in this situation because he's black. But Otis, you said just take the race out of it. That's the hard part for me, Otis.
I hear you.
And
Like I say,
but that's the
Now,
thing, right? And this is the correlation of you not really wanting to define what a coon is or identify coonish behavior, right? Because you yourself on this panel today displayed coonish behavior when you were defending Tatum, when you were basically trying to make it seem like, well, prove to me that this case is about race. When you're forcing us in the audience to remove history from the situation, you would agree, Otis, being the U55, that Mississippi, the state of Mississippi, has a long-standing history of racial oppression towards black people. Would you agree or disagree?
I agree.
You agree, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You also agree that him being black and being the only black person in the midst of all white people, right? Wouldn't you agree that that would lend itself to for him to be in an awkward position when it comes to the circumstances surrounding his death?
What do you mean? Explain awkwardly. That's where it get the changing. I agree with the first part, but the second part, what are you talking about? Break it down. Dumb it down for me. I'm listening. What do you mean? What awkward position?
The awkward position of him being the only non-white person there, right? So,
but if he felt
55,
comfortable with
right?
being around the white folks, how is it awkward?
You understand, and plus you was a service member, right? You was in the service, correct?
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you even understand, even in the military, which you know promotes itself to be completely objective and colorblind, right?
Brotherhood. Yeah.
You know, being a veteran, that's not true, right? That when you get to that duty station, what do you see? Especially when you were there, you seen blacks congregating with other black service members, didn't you?
Yes, but again, tie this in. I hear you. You like Eater Man. Y'all bring up great points, but tie it in to the situation at hand. I'm not disagreeing with you.
I'm tying it in because I'm talking about the comfortability of Nolan Wells in this situation, right? The reason why, even when we were in the service, we aligned ourselves and surrounded ourselves with people that look like us, because it's a matter of trust and identity, right? That we understood that when we were going out, somebody had my back that can identify and align with who I am.
Okay.
Right. So with him, right, not being around anybody that aligns with him or can identify with him or his upbringing, does that put him at a disadvantage?
Based on, okay, let me answer your question fairly, because I like the way you do this shit. Based on how you just framed it, your words, your story, your assumptions, I have to agree with you on that. But this is where I have to add my own opinion and my own thoughts into this. He, being that black boy, felt comfortable to be around them white boys for whatever reason. He felt comfortable enough to have a engagement with a white girl sitting on the pier or whatever the situation may be. Y'all know all the details. So he was comfortable enough to be around them.
And
so
I believe, go ahead, finish. I'm sorry. I apologize. I thought you paused.
With that being said, now we bring in what you are bringing up. If something tragically happened like it did, and we don't know exactly what happened, yes, it's going to look very suspicious, and it's going to draw a lot of questions because he was the only black person with white folks. But prior to that damaging, messed up situation that he lost his life, he felt comfortable enough to be around them and
All
comfortable
right,
enough.
but let's
to
examine
like
that, because
So
I'm
done
glad
with
I'm
that.
glad
So,
you said that, right?
okay.
And I don't disagree
Yes.
with that, but let's examine it a little further, right?
Okay.
Because
Okay.
we understand in this day and time, right? Black people have progressed to the point financially and social standing wise, have put themselves in certain neighborhoods, right, around white people, right? Because of you know how hard we work to get to the what we got to, right? So we understand we work hard, we buy a nice house, it's gonna be in a nice neighborhood, you know, closer to the nice finer restaurants and all those different kind of things, right? And our children, a byproduct of that, Otis, a byproduct of that is our children, they aren't growing up with the same experiences that we grew up with, right? And what happens is their level of situational awareness. We're talking about situational awareness and discernment. It gets weakened, it gets stripped a little bit because they're looking at these people as their friends, right? Because they're saying, hey, we go to the same schools, we're playing the same sports, we're involved in the same activities, right? But what they aren't aware of is the conversations that's having in those homes behind closed doors that is not in his favor, right? So do you understand that behind closed doors, some of those kids were possibly being brainwashed by racist parents? We're talking about Mississippi.
This is where you and a lot of people lose me, because you make great points, but then you find your way to me, in my opinion, with that long arm. You're reaching.
No,
you're
I asked the question.
Hear me out.
Asking
Hear me
for
out.
your
I'm answering your question. I'm
Right.
answering your question. I don't want to answer
and
because you're
I'm
making a lot of
prefacing it
assumptions. I don't know what they was talking about in their home, like you don't know.
But
You're
I prefaced it.
assuming,
Hold on,
and you're
Otis.
taking your assumption
That's
and making
correct.
your point and try to make it a fact. That's
Because
exactly
we
what you're
can't.
doing.
No, but listen, that's something, and that's what I'm saying. Discernment and having awareness is to the ability to understand what people may do, what people might do, understand the dangers that may be around you, right? You might not go into danger, but you understand the importance of staying away from certain people in certain situations because it may be dangerous, right? And what I'm saying is our young people that's coming up in the world today, they don't have that level of discernment because they don't see that danger. They've never been exposed to that type of danger, nor have they been educated with that type of danger, right? And that's why my whole point is this. Whenever we have situations like Carmelo Anthony, whenever we have situations like Nolan Wells, right? This is a teachable moment for us, right? We should be pulling our young people, whether it's your children, your nieces and nephews, your grandchildren, your little cousins or whatever, and you should be having conversations with them on why they should be cognizant and they should think twice about being the only Black person in the group that's going out. Explain to them the history of racial oppression in our country and explain to them how certain conversations can be had behind closed doors that could be racist that you would never be exposed to because you aren't there. And what I'm asking you is, why would you, Otis, come on Sharon's platform and say, well, hey, you have to prove to me and prove to the audience that this case involves race? When you understand the history of Mississippi and you also understand as a Black man, right, that you yourself had to have a certain level of situational awareness when you were possibly the only Black person in the space around white people. You know how that is, and you know how it's different now. So what I'm saying is Nolan Wells, he probably was naive to the danger. He probably was unaware of the certain type of situation that he could put himself in, that it could end up in a tragedy. I'm sure he thought these people were his friends, but this is an example of why you can't call people your friends. You don't know if they're your friends. They're just associates, because a friend, if you find yourself in a tragic situation, a friend who's with you, he's going to either help you out of that situation, or he's going to be transparent and forthcoming about everything that happened that lended you into that tragic situation. If he was your friend.
Great emotion, great storytelling. Excellent. With all that being said, his parents, Nolan, felt comfortable enough, whether the conversations in the so-called white homes were disparaging, racist, all that. Even myself being 55 years old, I don't want to be in the ghetto. I want to be in the nice suburbs where the grass is cut, kept, manicured. We got an HOA. We got all that. I want that lifestyle because I know what the quote unquote the N-words, how they live. They go out. So put me in that category. And with that being said, I have a situational awareness. I taught my daughter, if you are the only one, still be aware. So everything you said was true, but that still does not, to me, negate the fact out of your beautiful storytelling that you got to prove to me still it was a race situation. Still. And I'm
and that's why.
And you call me a coon or you won't. I don't care.
And that's why people who are listening to this show right now, they're viewing this show right now, they would say that Otis, this old bald-headed 55-year-old dude I'm saying on the panel, he is a coon. People would say that. They would surmise that because you are trying to convince Otis. Listen,
you're trying to convince. I'm not trying to convince nobody. That's you doing all the talking. But
you're trying to convince the audience. You're trying to convince people who are viewing what's happening, what's transpiring in front of us. And you want them to separate all of the history of Mississippi. You want them to separate the fact that these people who are supposed to be Nolan Wells' friend is not willing to be forthcoming and honest or transparent about the circumstances surrounding his death. You want us to ignore all of those factors.
I don't like what you're doing, sir. I'm cutting your ass off right now because you being a police officer, you know damn well how this works with lawyers lawyering up a parent over a minor, 18-year-olds or under. Of course, they're going to have their children lawyer up, whether they white or black. So for you to be a police officer, to sit here and try to use that argument against that is crazy to me, first of all. And on this station, on this channel, of course, I use your word. The generalization of everybody in the chat and on this panel agrees with that dynamic. I got you. I'm the lone man. I got you. But I could easily find another sector that I could go to, which I don't, and be all on their side and be all kumbaya. Just because you have a white man with an opposing opinion, he's being demonized. He's being ostracized. He's been called a coon. All that. I could take it, but come on, bruh. Just because majority of your chat agree with you, because you call them queens and all that, and they have some type of discernment, and man, that's cool. I'ma stand on mine. And again, for the record, and I'm saying this very calmly, I guarantee you, I will be one of the first 300. I love that movie 300. That's why I keep referring to it. I will be the first one on the line when it comes to us. I got history to prove in that. But I'm not going to.
And here's the thing, Otis. I don't disagree with you. I believe that you would be.
Let me read this real quick.
And that's my issue. That's my issue with what you're saying right now. What you said on a panel all day, because it conflicts with how I view you. Right? And here's the issue. You got to stop being disingenuous, right? Because you bring in when you're a law enforcement officer, right? So, you should be looking at things differently. I'm not talking about an occupation, right? I'm not talking about what you do for a career. What I'm talking about is the history of this country, the facts that's on the ground right now, and what is the normal behavior of a friend, right? Because Otis, I know if you call somebody a friend and you were hanging out with them and you don't come back, I'm sure your wife is going to want to call your friend and for your friend to be honest and transparent about why you didn't come home.
Yes, I agree.
You know
100%.
this. You
yes,
know we
I
call,
do.
listen, you've served in a war. I've served in a war, right? The people I called my friends, our mentality was no man left behind, right? So if I made it home and I lost people in battle, that still bothers me to this day. So I would never be comfortable with, sharing an opinion about a lost friend and not being honest and transparent about the circumstances surrounding his death.
I agree with you, man. And if you heard me earlier, like you said, you heard me.
Right.
I said that I would be the one. Hold on, hear me out.
So what I'm saying is the only difference, Otis, the only difference is race. That's the point. The reason why they're refusing to be a friend to Nolan Wells right now is because he was the only black that ended up in this situation, and everybody else in that situation made it out and they were white. So regardless of anybody who was involved in foul play and that contributed to his death, what they're choosing to do is mount up a defense for that person rather than do what's right in terms of justice for Nolan Wells. And that's why I don't like your position here, because you're not being genuine and honest about your own experience. But peace and love, my brother.
Listen, I don't mind you having your opinions, your statements, but when you make it personal and say I'm disingenuous, which you have the right to say that, I'm not gonna, but that is just crazy to me because you're not in my heart, you're not in my mind. I'm not being disingenuous. I'm telling you, this is how I truly feel. You just don't agree and align with it. And I'm not going to call you a name because you don't agree with me. And this is where we differ. I can honestly still shake your hand, go out to dinner with you, all that and chill, even though we have opposing opinions. I'm not going to sit there and say you're disingenuous and all them other words you saying, calling me a coon and all that, the disrespectful shit, which, by the way, I think you're doing it for the views and all that, which is fine. I don't take it personal. But that's what you do. I don't do that, bruh. I state what I state. I see what I see. I assess what I see, and that's it. You don't have to agree with me, but you also don't have to call me a coon and say I'm not being disingenuous. I mean, I'm being disingenuous. That's the part I don't like. But again, I can't do nothing about it. But that's where the part that we disagree with. I don't like that, man. But I hear you though, and I'm not falling off my fans. I'm not. Hold on. Go ahead. I'm done. Go ahead.
Narrows and dollars. Bad luck, John Galt. Take that damn bucket hat off. You not cool. You're making your twin brother look bad up there. Good day, Sharon. Tell Panda number 2 back my outfit. I guess he ran out of. Yes, that's what he said.
Here's the thing, Otis.
Talk to me, brother.
I think you're a good brother, right?
I rock split. We good.
I think I take you to your word that if there was a situation going down, you're gonna be on the right side of history, right? Because that's what you said you believe in, and that's what you said you will do, right? However, the way you're coming across on this panel, right, is hurtful to the Black community who is demanding answers in regards to Nolan Wells, right? Because what you take for granted, Otis, is Nolan Wells probably got some family members who might be listening and watching right now, right? And if they do, my heart goes out to them. And I wish for them to find the answers that they are desperately clamoring for. And I wish nothing but peace, love, and healing for them. Because this should not have happened the way it happened. And what's going on right now is wrong. And for you to say race isn't a factor, my brother, I gotta call it out. I gotta say you're being disingenuous because that's what it is. That's just a fact. You know the history of Mississippi. Do we have to go on down the history of all the racial things that has happened in Mississippi? There's been songs made about it. You ever heard the song Strange Fruit? Now we're going to act like and pretend that these things don't exist anymore? That when they were moving one of the police departments up there just a few months ago, they found all of these Ku Klux Klan writings and all those different kind of things right there in Mississippi? We need to forget all of that, right? And say, well, race don't play a part.
I hear you, man. I just don't agree with what you're doing and how you're doing it, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, you good at it. You good at it.
But John Galt is here to speak for himself, right?
Okay.
John Galt,
right.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm glad you on camera because I want to tell it to you face to face, right? My brother, you're a coon. Would you agree with that? John Galt, do you agree that you are a coon?
I think by you blacks' definition, sure. You blacks made up the definition, right? So sure, whatever your definition is. But the better question is, do I even care what you blacks think about me? You're the lowliest creatures in this country. What the hell? Nobody cares what you blacks think. Nobody even wants to hear you run your mouth. Clean up your communities. Open up some business in your neighborhood. Then maybe you can run your mouth. But nobody really wants to hear what blacks have to say. Nobody wants to hear it. So call me what you like. I don't care what you say. No one else cares what you say. Your opinion doesn't carry any weight in the world. So just call names, blacks. That's all you really got anyway. You don't own anything. You don't control anything. So all you got is to run your mouth and call names.
So John Galt, let me ask you a question, my brother.
Yeah, sure.
When you say you blacks,
yeah,
who are you referring to?
Blacks, whatever they are. If you feel like I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. If I ain't talking to you, then you don't take offense to it. But
so
blacks, you know who you are.
Otis, yeah, I'm like, get back to Otis.
Otis, let me ask you this question.
Yeah, I'm here.
What you just heard John Galt say, is that example of being a coon?
No.
No.
He can't make this up. He even think he's being a coon. Listen, out of his own mouth.
John Galt is trolling. He's doing and saying exactly what needs to be said.
I think he's telling his truth,
Brownville, because he know that my argument back to you is not going to be crazy. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say nothing like that. John will. So that's why he's up here, and that's why he's saying what he's saying. Because even though when he make them statements, a lot of y'all think he's talking about y'all for whatever reason.
I am talking about him.
I know he's, but you're not talking about me. I got you, but I know you're not talking about me.
If the shoe fits word,
but John, I know you're not talking about me, and I'm a stand. You ain't talking about me, so therefore I can't even.
John, are you talking about Otis as well?
I've never even had a conversation with Otis, maybe once.
Thank you, and that's
all.
all.
The shoe fits word, right?
Thank you. That's all he's saying. Damn.
So Otis, you separate Otis from everybody else when you say the blacks?
I'm separating myself.
Hold on, no, I want to hear from John. I want niggas and John. Hold on, I want to see what John going to say too. John, are you separating Otis from when you say the blacks?
Well, what I'm saying is,
slap the taste out of your mouth. I'd like to see it.
Who is that? Wasp? Yeah.
You know it. Oh my goodness, y'all are crazy. Sheesh. Shout out to Time Wise. I said on site. And we will be on site tomorrow. Make sure y'all put your notifications up. You know how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it again tomorrow. We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna have a wilding out time. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the show. We're gonna do it again tomorrow in the AM. We're gonna get you through your day. Make sure you hit that notification bell. It's very important. Hit the like and the share. Leave some comments after the show. I have somebody. What am I got? Hey, listen, I got some videos that I just dropped as well. Go and check those goddamn videos out as well. Somebody dropped one of my damn videos in the damn chat. Shit. Anyway, we see y'all mañana. This was an interesting one. It was really good. And stop the goddamn cooning.
Nothing wrong with being. Let me